Chef.
Okay, how's it?
You look great.
Okay, good. All right, welcome to Providence En Voyage week 4. This week we are in Spain. A little bit all over, but we really are kind of featuring a couple of dishes from the Basque region. And one of my favorite pinchos from the Basque region too, which are gildas, which is the way we're going to start the meal. So these are perfect little bites of incredible Cantabrian anchovies from the Bay of Biscay in Spain, of course, probably the best anchovy in the world. And then we have Gordal olives from Andalusia. And then we have Guindia peppers, which are pickled. And this is obviously, if you've been to the Basque region, you've had this somewhere in a tapas bar, and you remember it, and it's delicious, and will immediately transport you to Spain. And that's why we're starting the meal out with that. Okay, so for our bread this week, we're serving pan de aceite, which this is kind of like focaccia's long-lost Spanish cousin. And this is a bread, you know, pan de aceite, obviously it implies that there's lots of olive oil going on with this bread. And our version is no different. It's made with lots and lots of Ricchiuti family olive oil from right here in California. And I recommend that you preheat this, or reheat it rather, in a 350-degree oven for maybe 5 minutes or so before serving. And then we're serving it also with this incredible whipped sheep's milk cheese, which is called En Voyage de Lomo, which is it's a cheese made with both sheep, goat, and cow's milk. And it's incredibly delicious, and we've taken it, we've whipped it with a little bit of garlic and a little bit of thyme. And with this bread, straight out of the oven, nice and warm, it's absolutely amazing. So that'll be the bread for the service today. So the next thing is going to be octopus. So octopus is like one of the most popular proteins, obviously, in Spain. And this we're serving sort of in a very simple style, which is octopus gallego. And this is an octopus that's like traditionally just served with like steamed potatoes. These are beautiful German butterball potatoes from Thao Farms. Just cover them with a little bit of olive oil, hit it with a little bit of sea salt, and then pop it in the oven for 3 minutes. Just leave it in there until everything's sort of nice and hot. And we've also sent you along with the whole thing lemon wedge and some Spanish pimentón. So this is like a mixture of smoked and sweet paprika. And we're going to finish the dish with that, along with plenty of olive oil. Already it's hot. Okay, so once the octopus is hot, squeeze a good amount of lemon juice over the whole thing. A little bit of sea salt again. And then we can go ahead and plate it. So you're going to want to put the potatoes on the bottom here. And then I want you to put a little bit more sea salt on the potatoes. And then just start piling the octopus on top. And this octopus is also from Spain. It's wild. And it's been braised with water, sea salt, red wine vinegar, bay leaf, and thyme. And it's steamed for about 45 minutes. And then once the octopus is nice and tender, we leave it in that broth for a good hour while the broth cools. And then we take the octopus out, slice it, sear it. That's why it has a little bit of golden brown to it. And then we put it in the tin, ready for you to take it home. Now, we also have provided some herbs here. The celery leaves are for this dish. Now, you don't have to use the celery leaves if you don't want to. Like if you're a real purist, you would just eat this dish. The potatoes, the olive oil, the octopus, and the pimentón, and that's it. You'd call it a day. But these celery leaves make it look really beautiful, so we're going to use them anyway. And then we gave you the pimentón covered with this handy little sock, as we call them here in the kitchen. And you're just going to tap it to release the pimentón all over the dish. Lots of pimentón. Just like that. Maybe a little bit more olive oil that came from the tin. Drizzle it over the top, and that's it. Serve it immediately. All right, so lastly for our main course, we're gonna make striped bass from Massachusetts, and we're gonna make it in the piparada style. So this is a dish that's been popular in the Basque region for centuries, literally. it is, you know, red, it's white, and it is green. The three colors of the Basque flag. So white from the onions, green from the peppers, and red from the tomatoes. So this is basically like a vegetable stew, which we've also sort of turned into the sauce for the striped bass. So when you get this, the striped bass is already going to be cooked. It's steamed, as a matter of fact, and it's pretty much ready to go. So what I want you to do is put some olive oil on top of the fish, put some of the sea salt that we gave you on top of the fish, and then I want you to put it in the oven, 350 degrees, about 6-7 minutes, just so everything's nice and hot. And then we have the sauce, which is the salsa piperata. So all of the peppers that went in there, all of the onions that are in there, all the tomatoes that are in there, we took all of that, all of the scrap, we cooked it down with a little bit of vegetable broth, red wine vinegar, and some herbs. And then we emulsified it with California olive oil, and we have this beautiful sauce as a result. Very like sort of velvety smooth sauce, which is, you know, almost entirely vegetable. And this is going to be the sauce for the dish. So this you can either transfer into a plastic container and pop in the microwave, or you could put it on the fire in a small saucepan just to get it hot for the plate. So now we're going to pull the striper out of the oven. So I'm going to give you a little tip here. I owe most of my career to this thing right here, because this is the best way to learn how to cook fish, and it'll cost you 99 cents. It's an Atico cake tester, and so I'll show you how you use it. So of course, first of all, you want to make sure that the fish is hot, but secondly, you want to make sure that the fish is cooked through. Now we've already warmed the fish all the way through. You just want to reheat it. So what you do is you take this guy, you put it in the flesh of the fish or the meat, you could use it for meat as well. And then you let it warm up for a second, and then you pull it out and you touch it to your wrist. It's sort of the same way you test the temperature of a baby bottle. Now, if it's warm when you put it on your wrist, the fish is probably done. If it's cold when you put it on your wrist, the fish is not done. And if it's hot, the fish is ruined, start over. Now, the other thing that you can use this probe for is you can just sort of feel, when I put it in the fillet of the fish, if I put it in there and it just stops right in the middle and I can't go any further without putting a lot of pressure on it, that means that in the center of the fish, it is not even warm yet. It's still very cold. So you can tell by feel. Now, if it passes through with some resistance, a light resistance, then you know that the fish is cooked. And that's what I'm experiencing here. So now I know that the fish is cooked. The fish is hot to the touch, so it's ready to be plated. So what I would do is take all these vegetables first from around the fish and just sort of make a little nest for the fish. So here we have beautiful peppers from Thao Farms. We have Jimmy Nardello's. We have beautiful tomatoes from Valdivia Farms. These are all, of course, you know, local farms right here in Southern California, which, of course, you know, give us the very best produce in the world. So fish goes in the center. Whatever few little pieces you have, you can just spoon them around. There's going to be a little bit of juice inside the container. I would just take that and drizzle it right over top of the fish, because these are the juices of all the vegetables, and it's also a little bit of olive oil, and then the juice from the striped bass itself. So you want that there. That has a lot of flavor. That's going to taste great. And of course, it makes the flesh of the fish look beautiful and shiny. Then I'm going to retrieve my sauce from the stove, which is now simmering and hot. And I'm just going to spoon it around the fish. Now, we also provided you with a little bit of this. So this is called Lomo Embuchado. And this is from our friends at La Espanola Meats in Harbor City, California. If you are among the many people who do not eat pork, that's fine. Don't use it. Give it to someone else. Or, you know, if you don't eat pork, but your friend does that you're sharing this meal with, let them have all the pork. But this adds a delicious flavor to the dish as well. It's nice and tender. And actually what this is a salted pork loin. And it's preserved in the same way that prosciutto is made. And it's absolutely delicious. So I would split that around. And then the last final touch, a little bit more olive oil that we've given you, just around everything. And there you go, the dish is done. Oh, and we also have a little bit of fennel that you can put around. There you go. Okay. There you go. So for dessert today, we have a Basque-style cheesecake. So Basque-style cheesecake is very different from the cheesecake that we're all used to here in the United States. It's cooked at a slightly higher temperature for a shorter period of time, leaving the center a little bit undercooked, so it's like very gooey and very creamy and very satisfying and delicious. So what I suggest you do with this is pull it out of the tin and gently remove the parchment paper from the outside, and then just sort of lay it on a plate. All right, and then we're serving this with these beautiful preserves made with strawberries from our friends at Harry's Berries. And you can just maybe put that off to one corner, just let it fall down to the plate, and then save the rest maybe for a bagel in the morning. All right, so that's dessert. And then of course we also have torrón made with almonds, which is, you know, this delicious sort of thing that you find all over Spain. It's one of their specialties. So thanks for ordering. We hope you enjoyed this little trip to Spain. We'll see you next week. And until then, please remember to wear a mask so that we can all get back to doing the things that we love with the people that we love. Thank you very much. Bon appetit.
Welcome.
How was your day?
Fantastic.
What'd you do?
I feel like we are alive here.
Today I just made sure bags were prepared.
Nice and breezy right in front of the Hollywood sign.
Up there somewhere?
Back there, far away. Far from us, but next to our heart. You will see the new voyage that we're gonna go somewhere quite far, but so delicious. But I can't tell you where.
Okay.
Check it out.